All right, Shalom Akim, Wa'akwat of the elect of the nation of Israel. We are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures. Welcome back to a quick one in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai entitled Joseph is Ephraim in Revelation 7 and 8. Okay, Joseph is Ephraim in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter and the 8th verse. Okay, Joseph is synonymous to Ephraim and vice versa. Okay, vice versa, meaning Ephraim, okay, is Joseph. Okay, Joseph in the Hebrew is Yahusab, and in the Hebrew, Ephraim is Parayam. Okay, the yam at the end of Ephraim makes it plural, which means double fruits or fruitful. So before we go into this brief lesson, when breaking down Revelation 7, the seventh chapter, which is a chapter of the 144,000 who were sealed with the names of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. So before I start, give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered amongst the heathen in these last days. This is Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And one of those tribes of the nation of Israel, or the sons of Israel, is down here in verse 8. Of the tribe of Zebulun was were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Now, when you read verse 8, you don't see Ephraim. Okay, you don't see Ephraim in the 144,000 roster of the 12 tribes of Israel. Again, verse 8, of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Now, with Joseph, you can read the account of our forefather Joseph, Yahusap, in the book of Genesis. I believe it's around the 38th chapter on forward all the way to the 48th chapter. But Joseph is Ephraim, okay, pursuing to the book of Numbers. Okay, let's go into Numbers because Ephraim, that was one of the, I believe that was the youngest son. Yeah, it is the youngest son of Joseph. Okay, Joseph had Manasseh, which today would be the so called Cubans, Manasseh and Ephraim. This is Numbers chapter 1. You always have to go back to the law, okay, to break down, the proper prophecies. Okay, always refer back to the law to get a better understanding. The law in the Hebrew is Thawarah. Okay, Thawarah, the book of the law. Now, when you go into the law of numbers, which numbers is pretty much a census, it tells you here. It says the book of Numbers derives its name from the two census taking of the nation of Israel at the beginning and the end of this book. Before being referred to as Numbers, the writing had also been known as the desert or wilderness, and that was what? That was after the exodus of Egypt, which that's the first captivity of our forefathers, which captivity means slavery or hardcore bondage. This is going back to the intro. It says referring to the fact that the Israelites spent 40 years in the desert. This is Numbers 1 and 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the desert of Sinai in the house of the congregation on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, so this was the second year, the first day of the second month of the second year after our forefathers, which are the tribes of Israel, okay, left Egypt. Now, when you go to verse 10, I'll start at verse 5. And these are the names of the man that shall stand with you of the tribe of Reuben, Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. Now, when you skip down to verse 10, it says, of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim. You see that? Of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Amihud, of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. Okay, so here in verse 10 it says, of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim. And when you go here in Numbers 1 and 32, it says, of the children of Joseph, Yahweh, namely of the children of Ephraim. I'll read that one more time, which goes back to the title of this lesson. Joseph is Ephraim, which today the Ephraimites would be so-called Puerto Ricans, okay, Puerto Ricanos. Now, you might be a brother that's a so-called a Cuban. You might be a so-called okay a Haitian. Okay, you think you're a Southern Kingdom, but hey, man, hey, in the spirit, you might go back to Ephraim, and that's just in the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, when Yahushai, okay, gives us our proper order, he will also give us our proper tribe, because there was a lot of intermingling, okay, between the tribes, Southern and Northern Kingdom. But the point here is Numbers 1 and 32, of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim, and that's synonymous, okay, Ephraim and Joseph, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. And now, why is Ephraim synonymous to Joseph? Well, let's get Genesis 48. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Genesis 48. I'll start at 1. Genesis 48 and 1. It says, and it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. See that? And Joseph took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Now let's get the breakdown. Manasseh and Ephraim. This is Genesis 46 and 20. And unto Joseph, I'll start at 20. And unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim. You see that? In the land of Egypt. Hey, so pretty much Ephraim and Manasseh, man, they were Egyptian citizens, so to speak. They were born in Egypt, but they weren't born in Israel. You see that, and that makes them also Israelite foreigners, because they weren't born in the promised land. They were actually born in captivity, and that applies to a lot of us brothers and sisters in these last days, where we were born mainly here in Babylon the Great, modern day Egypt, and that makes us Israelite foreigners. So going back to Genesis 46 and 20, and unto Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim with Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of Onber, unto him. Okay, that was a point. Let me get a precept, Joshua 14 and 4. Okay, this is the book of Joshua 14 and 4. I'm getting a precept, Joshua 14 and 4, and it reads, For the children of Joseph were two tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell with their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance. Yeah, the point is the children of Joseph were two tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Let's get another precept. This is the book of Genesis 41, Genesis 41 and 51. Genesis 41 and 51. I'll start at 50. And unto Joseph were born two sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Yahweh said, He hath made me forget all my toil. Manasseh or Manasseh made to forget, right? And all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim Aparayam, for Yahweh caused me to be fruitful. Yeah, that's where you get the yom at the end of Ephraim, Aparayam, and the land of my affliction. So Ephraim was the youngest, okay, the youngest of the two that were born. Manasseh is older than Ephraim, okay. Now let's go back to Genesis 48 and 14. Okay, this is the book of Genesis 48. I'll start at 1. Genesis 48 and 1. So again, Joseph is Ephraim. Genesis 48 and 1. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick, and he took with him two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto you. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appear unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and bless me. And he said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto you in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. So let's get to the point. And and Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom Yahweh hath given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Right, blessing so-called Cubans and so-called Puerto Ricans, man. And the blessing of Ephraim of Parayam is that they were going to be fruitful. Okay, that's pretty much the blessing of the 12 tribes of Israel. Even Yahweh Shemiel Shai told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that our seed was going to be as the sands of the sea. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Hey, so this is our customs, man. Kissing the brethren. Okay, this is also a Eastern custom. That's why you see a lot of Italians, Sicilians, whether they're from the south or north Italy, even the Arabs, man, they kiss each other in the cheek as a form of respect and honor, and embrace them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, Yahweh hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right arm, his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim's head. Yeah, because the right, that's pretty much your arm of your strength. Your right arm is pretty much the strength. Okay, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands willingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day. Okay, let's get to the point. Verse 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. Yeah, and that was in the spirit, man. Okay, for our forefather, okay, Israel, okay, prince of the power, to bless Ephraim, okay, which Ephraim today would be the so-called Puerto Ricans, which they are the head tribe of the northern kingdom. It says, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. So in our ancient customs, man, when you were about to bless someone for an inheritance as a firstborn, you got to put your right hand, on them. But again, this was in the spirit because it said in verse 10 that our forefather Israel, he was dim for age, so he couldn't really see, man. So that was in the spirit. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn, which is Manasseh. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused. Israel's like, nah, man, look, I already blessed, blessed Ephraim. Can't take that back. And said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations, man. And that's what's going on with the tribe of Ephraim, man. That's why the northern kingdom, it's more in numbers as the southern kingdom, okay? Because the southern kingdom is three tribes, and the northern kingdom, that's about nine tribes, okay, give or take. It says a total of 12 tribes. It says, and he blessed them that day, saying, in thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. See that's how Ephraim received the blessing as being one of the head tribes. And Israel said unto Joseph, behold, uh, okay, that's it for that. Let me get Genesis Genesis 46 or Revelation. Okay, going back to Revelation. Okay, just to get straight to the point. Okay, I just broke it down. Joseph being Ephraim. So when you go back to Revelation, the seventh chapter and the seventh verse, and it says, of the tribe of Zabulon, the eighth verse, were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph, which is Ephraim, were sealed 12,000. So whenever you encounter anyone that says, why isn't Ephraim in the part of the 12 tribes of Israel, in verse 7 for the 144,000, and you could just simply break it down. Okay, Genesis 48, Genesis 46, Joshua 14 and 4. Okay, Ephraim received the blessing by Israel. Okay, him being able to be, okay, the head of tribe. Okay, that goes back to the gospel of Yahweh Shai, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Okay, the younger shall be the greatest, and the greatest shall be the younger, man. And with that, again, Joseph is Ephraim, Revelation 7 and 8. With that, I want to say Shalom.